Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Zalits, and in this video I'll be commenting over my run of Kefka's EX mission. And before I begin, I want to say that I had to do it in 2 runs because I was trying things out and couldn't get all the objectives in one go. But during my final attempt, I realized I most likely could have completed everything with my last set of characters, which was Eiko, Saz, and Waka, with a friend Terra. Initially, I had ran Cloud, Saz, and Waka with a friend Cloud. Pretty much the same exact team that I used for Rhea's EX mission, and it worked fairly well with the Pandemonium summon. Although I don't think I had the Pandemonium summon recorded. I did try it out afterwards, and I had pretty much the exact same thing. But I think the one that I had recorded on the clear was with Ifrit. But I've talked enough. Let's just get into how I did this EX already.
But it's gonna be blue skies for you and I. We'll step out of the shadows and walk into the light. Yeah, it's gonna be blue skies for you and I.
Alright guys, and here we are. Now this is a little bit new for me. I'm not used to commentating over my own gameplay. Like, I'm so used to just commentating straight on the video itself when I'm recording. But because I was recording this without actually, voicing over it, I was kind of just going through it, trying to try as many different strategies as possible to, try and complete this. I just didn't record over it, so it's a little weird for me. But I'm gonna try and give you a play-by-play here, or not play-by-play, but I'm gonna try and tell you what was going through my head here. So basically, on these first few waves, I was trying to conserve all of Waka's abilities. Like, that was like priority number 1. And with Saz, you can be as lenient as you want, or can be with his attack boost. The same thing goes with Eiko. I did not use any smites for these first 4 waves. I tried to stick to like maybe using one. I think I used like one. What is the HP regen? I think that's all I used throughout all of these. So, but with Saz, it's like, you can be as lenient as you want. Like, I know I attack boost Eiko here on this first wave, and then I think on the 3rd wave I refresh it. But with Saz, Saz is pretty much your main damage dealer going through these waves. So that's why I say, you can be as lenient as you want with his attack boost. And going back to what I was talking about with the team setup, I did use, like with this team right here, I didn't realize how good it actually was for this event. Initially, I was running Cloud, Saz, and Waka with a Cloud friend, and I was like, okay, so I can actually get this score. I can get the score, and I can get the clear, but it was so hard to manage the HP because I just didn't have an HP. Like, the boss is gonna HP attack unless you get like super lucky with a bajillion paralysis procs, but it just didn't work out that way. I did not want to go through all that RNG process. So, I cleared it, but then I realized, like, if I ran this, like, after I ran it like the first time without a Terra, I was like, you know what? If I just had a little bit more damage. I was trying the same setup with Kefka, but it just wasn't working for me. Like, he was just not doing enough damage, and I was like, man, like, this sucks. Like, why can I not beat this boss? And that's pretty much what it came down to. And eventually, once I realized that, and even in this run, I made a mistake. As you guys can see there, I have a Pandemonium summon, and that's not what I wanted to use. I actually wanted to use Brothers. I still think Brothers would be a better summon, but Pandemonium actually has its good uses. Like, Pandemonium is actually not bad, and you'll see here once we get to the the final wave what I'm talking about with Pandemonium. The Pandemonium is actually really strong, especially if you try to go with a Cloud setup. Definitely suggest using Pandemonium. Don't use Brothers, don't use Ifrit. Pandemonium is definitely the way to go if you're choosing to go with the launch setups. But yeah, once I figured out that I needed more damage, I was just like, why don't I just try Terra? Like, everybody's always talking about Terra this, Terra that. She's so strong, and I was like, I have to agree that she's actually really strong. And she was pretty much the main factor in this. Like, I honestly think that she was like the strongest partner that I brought to this. Like, the Cloud was good, and the launches were very strong. Like, I was getting a couple 40k plus launches, but it just didn't feel as consistent. Like, Terra was just there to give that on-demand immediate burst. And like, I had to reset quite a few times on the last like round mostly because Terra, like I was just misplaying. Like I think at first I had swapped out Saz, or I had swapped out Eiko for Terra, so I didn't have a battery for her abilities. And I believe that's how I did this one. I believe that when we get to it, I think I swapped out my my Waka for Terra, and buffed her with Saz buffs and whatnot, and like literally just went to town on this boss. Like, you know, I was using smites, I was using everything to, you know, boost her damage as high as possible. And you know, she actually did fairly like really well. She did a lot of damage for me in the when she was used. But all right, we're approaching the final wave here. And as you can see, I've been pretty lenient on my ability uses. I was trying here. I tried not to use that third attack boost until this wave, mostly because like I didn't want to run out of it. I think 3 is probably the lowest you should go. Like you can be lenient with your attack boost, but I think 3 is like the safest spot to be at when you're doing these, because you want to save at least 1 for the Terra swap in, and then you want to save the other 2 for just buffing Eiko. The reason why Waka is so good for, like, Waka is literally like one of the best partners to have for Saz, in my opinion. If you don't have anything better, like, you know, he's so he doesn't rely on Saz. Like, that's the best part about him. Like, not only can he cap with his own buffs, like, sure, it's RNG to get it and whatnot, but he feels so good when you actually play with him. Alright, so here we are in this final wave. So now, what I want to start off by saying is, try, like, you see this, like, you see how the boss is targeting Eiko? These situations are actually not the best. I've noticed that if the boss targets Saz first, because, you know, Saz usually goes first. If you have him buffed up before the final wave, he usually goes first. What I've noticed is that if he's targeting Saz, the run usually goes a bit smoother, because Saz can aim and he won't get broken right off the bat. But because he's targeting Eiko, like, Saz can't really break him right away. So, like you see, he ends up with like 300 bravery, and then she gets broken, and it's just not a bad. It's, you know, it leaves you in a really bad spot. But here I buff myself with Waka, and you'll see why I don't use any of Waka's abilities at first. I tried to keep it. I try to keep all his ability uses, because you're gonna need them throughout the entire fight. All right, so we took that break there, but it's completely fine. I'm going to actually, I think I HP attack here. Yeah, I'm in a safe spot. I actually risk this. Like, if you're in these situations where the boss gets really high bravery, try and whittle him down as much as possible. If you have to take an HP attack, go ahead, because you're gonna heal that up anyways. And as long as you keep his bravery low enough, you're not gonna be taking that much damage. You see, I took a 2,000 health hit. That'll regen over the next, you know, 4 or 5 turns. So, you know, it's nothing to really worry about. As long as you minimize the amount of damage you take, that's all that's important. So then you just want to keep HP attacking. Use Waka's Dark Ball sparingly. Mostly for when you know he's about to do something pretty, like some pretty devastating damage. Like, you know, when he's about to use his what are those? The magic fingers, whatever they're called. The spirit fingers. I can't remember. Arcane fingertips. There we go. That thing. See, when you know he's about to do that, like, he usually does it like every, like, he does something one turn, then he does the arcane fingertips the next turn. You want to save it for like those turns in between, so that way you don't get hit by it, because if that hits you, it's gonna do a lot of bravery. It's gonna give him so much bravery. You don't want to get hit by that thing. And generally, I've noticed that the boss actually launches fairly early, like usually like around 70-ish turns. Usually by the time you reach this point, when he's using the smirking, whatever it's called, that's generally where he starts to launch at, which for me was around 70 something, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember exactly what happened here, because I recorded this earlier, but I'm voicing over it now. So here I'm just thinking at this point, I'm just thinking of what to do, and I believe that I'm going to end up swapping. Yes, okay, so I did swap. When you use your Terra, just literally, I think I only used Meteor. I don't even know if I used Meteor for her. I don't even know if I did. I think I just straight up used Meltdown, because Meltdown just had the highest DPS like overall. Like, it did so much damage. It was unbelievable. Because she gets so much charge off of it. It's ridiculous. So you see, okay, there. Yeah. So it was around 73 turns. I got the launch. I summoned, launch, and you'll see Pandemonium's damage increase coming in super clutch here. You see how much damage I'm doing? Like, Echo was like at about, 9,000 something, and it ended up boosting it up to 11,000. Okay, so I did use one meteor when I was at low bravery. Okay. So now I'm going to smite here. And like I was saying, because this is what you want to do. You want to smite for Terra so that she can do as much damage as possible. She's going to be your key. Like, watch how fast she wipes this boss's health out. Alright, so I'm going to melt down here again. Yeah, melt down. I was probably just thinking of what I should do here. But yeah, I end up meltdowning. You see how much damage that... Literally, she like doubles her bravery. That's what's so good about her. Of course, I didn't pull for her. I don't have her, but that's because I have other things that I want to pull for. I know. I should have pulled for her, but I can't risk it at this point, guys. But yeah, look at that. Again, 14,000, literally back to back. Like the last one was like 17,000, almost 18,000. The next one was 14,000. She's just doing so much damage. And then I'm just gonna melt down one more time. It doesn't even matter. Instantly up to 9,000. So she literally did for me, like, I don't know, like maybe like 60,000, 70,000 damage to this boss by herself in the course of 5 turns. It was she was pretty much the clutch factor in this run. Okay, as you see there. Now what's unfortunate about this is I have to stall this out slightly. Don't be afraid. Don't call this a bad run just yet, because this is what I did, and I ended up I ended up resetting when I didn't have to. So you see, Echo overwrote Saz's HP buff, or not HP buff, attack boost buff, and I end up refreshing it here to get that back, that attack boost back. But you'll see that boss is low health, and I'm trying to prolong the fight so that everybody's HP could recover. As long as Saz's HP is around 3,300, you'll be clean to go and kill the boss. And here I was thinking, I remember this, I was thinking about this because I was thinking to myself, if I kill this boss here, I'm going to be upset because I'll have wasted all this time on nothing. But luckily, there's not enough damage there to kill the boss. I did a lot of damage, but it wasn't enough to kill, so it was perfectly fine. I'm still waiting to get Saz's health to 3,300 because Saz's I think my Saz's HP was like at 6,100 overall. So I have to have his HP above 3,300 or above 3,000 something to make sure that I get all the objectives in this boss run and in this EX mission. So you see here, I'm trying to prolong. I'm trying to get Saz to recover HP. I only need about one more turn. Luckily, Wakka's Dark Ball there. This is why I say to prolong and don't use a lot of his abilities early, because you need them later on. Now, I probably could have been a bit more aggressive with my ability uses for Wakka, but, this, like I said, you want to save them for these last few waves so that when you do get here, if you did take HP damage, as you see, now I'm finally above 3,300. Now I go in for the kill because I know that I can kill him here. And here at Dark Attack, I probably could have used my my Great Daring, but I think I just wanted to secure the kill more than anything, and I was kind of nervous about it. So yeah, I just did that, broke him again, or just to get the break in, HP attack, and then with Saz, he secures the kill here. I just wanted to make sure that Saz had more than enough health so that I would get the 3,000 HP requirement, and it did. And I believe in this run, I got everything. So the 3,600 score for outside of that, for the outside objectives, and then it was all within the other objectives as well. And that's gonna wrap up Kefka's EX mission. Overall, I found there were quite a few ways to deal with this boss without needing synergy or awakened characters. I did have to reset a few times to get this run to work the way it did. And sure, the score wasn't amazing, but I got everything, so it doesn't really matter to me. I'm sure some of you out there will perform this strategy even better than I did and achieve way higher scores. Also, I want to ask that if you completed this EX mission with a different strategy, please comment down below so that others can see, because I know there are several other methods that people have used for this boss. Anyway, I'm still working on my tier list update, but I should be wrapping that up any day now. So next up, I'll most likely be releasing Zach's information video, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah, until next time, bye guys.